This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. These are 10 stories that we're following this morning, and thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. First, markets turned sharply up on Friday, and the markets point up this morning. Of course, we try not to judge the markets until the end of the day ultimately, but so far so good. Second, Snapchat jumped 27% Friday. It seems like forever since we've seen that, as Snapchat had been on sort of the decline, but what a great day for them on Friday. Third, the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 are each up about 7.5% year to date, recovered a little bit this past week, especially Friday. Fourth, Amazon rose another 3.4% Friday and is now up 18% year to date. Fifth, Intel Corporation got beaten down again Friday, down about 8 to 9%. It's in that commodity chip category, PC-driven category, which is a problematic space to be in. Sixth, and a lot of jump in the market came from this, is Google jumped about 10% Friday, and helped power the market forward. Seventh, one of the companies that we've just learned about over the last couple of years for different reasons is Darktrace. Darktrace jumped on Friday on news of a $5.2 billion private equity deal. Eighth, California fast food chains, the least surprising headline, are having sticker shock. This is a Wall Street Journal article, and of course they are. So the minimum wage was raised for fast food workers. Fast food companies, of course, had to change their game and raise their prices as well. So you're seeing that. Ninth, another story in the Wall Street Journal, soaring treasury yields challenge stock market gains. And again, we're going to see this for some time to come as the 10-year gets up to 4.7%, closes in on 5, and the 1-year is at 5.2%. Those are attractive rates for savers and then people making choices between stocks and bonds. Those numbers get high enough that it becomes enticing to not have everything in the stock market. Finally, 10th, we are we're working on a new business book, and hopefully it'll be good. Should be out in a couple of months. God bless you all for reading and listening to the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. I'll tell you one other PS postscript. We did a show this weekend, a podcast this weekend on Qatars investment and how much they're donating to college campuses. I know some of our readership loved that. Some of our readership hated that. We'll try and generally avoid that on the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. You will still get some of my ridiculous shows about golf and other things. I may do a separate podcast entirely for those that are interested in world politics or perspectives on world politics, but we'll try and generally keep that out of the Private Equity and Business Podcast unless it's tightly tied to business. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. I will tell you this. I really appreciate the text comments I got from people on the episode and all the episodes the last couple of weeks. Always feel free to text me at 773-766-5322. I may agree with you, I may not agree with you, but I love the fact that you listen and make the effort to send me your thoughts and comments. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast.